Have you ever noticed how some men over 60 seem to draw respect and admiration without saying very much? It isn't because they have the perfect appearance, a luxury car, or an impressive bank account. There is something deeper, something quiet, that people instinctively recognize the moment they walk into a room. It's a calm confidence, a sense of purpose, and a strength that only time and experience can build. Today, we're going to uncover the 7 silent habits that make men over 60 instantly more attractive to women. These aren't tricks, pickup lines, or outdated dating advice. They are timeless qualities that create genuine attraction, inspire respect, and leave a lasting impression wherever you go. Make sure you stay with me until the very end, because the final habit is the one that most men overlook. And once you understand it, you'll never see aging or attraction the same way again. It could completely transform not only how others see you, but more importantly, how you see yourself. Let's begin. Many men believe that attraction fades with age. They look in the mirror and notice the gray hair, the wrinkles around their eyes, or the slower pace of their steps. And they quietly convince themselves that their best years are behind them. Society often reinforces this idea by celebrating youth while overlooking the incredible strength that comes from decades of living, learning, and growing. But the truth is something very different. A man over 60 possesses qualities that cannot be bought, rushed, or imitated. He carries experience, resilience, wisdom, and emotional depth, qualities that many women value far more than youthful appearance. The challenge is not that these qualities disappear with age. The challenge is that many men stop believing in their own value. Real attraction has never been about having the perfect body or the newest fashion. It begins with the energy a man brings into a room. A man who stands calmly, speaks thoughtfully, and carries himself with quiet confidence creates an impression that lasts much longer than physical appearance ever could. There is something incredibly powerful about someone who no longer feels the need to prove himself. He doesn't compete for attention. He doesn't chase approval. His confidence comes from knowing who he is, not from needing others to tell him. Think about the storms you've already survived, the disappointments, the failures, the heartbreaks, the responsibilities, and the sacrifices have all shaped the person you are today. Every difficult chapter has taught you patience. Every setback has given you perspective. Every lesson has strengthened your character. These experiences are not signs that your best years are over. They are evidence that you have become stronger than you once were. That quiet strength is something people naturally notice, even if they cannot explain why. Women often feel safer around a man who is emotionally steady than around someone who constantly seeks attention. Calmness creates trust, patience creates comfort, emotional maturity creates respect. These qualities cannot be developed overnight, but they often become stronger with age if you choose to embrace them instead of doubting yourself. The most attractive man is rarely the loudest person in the room. More often, he is the one who listens carefully, smiles genuinely, and makes others feel valued without demanding anything in return. The beauty of growing older is that you no longer have to chase every opinion or compare yourself with everyone around you. You have earned the freedom to focus on becoming the best version of yourself. When you invest in your health, protect your peace, continue learning, and treat others with kindness, your presence begins to change. People notice the quiet confidence that comes from living with purpose rather than seeking validation. So never believe that turning 60 means becoming invisible. In many ways, this is the age when your greatest qualities finally have the opportunity to shine. Your wisdom speaks before your words do. Your character leaves a stronger impression than your appearance ever could. And when you recognize your own worth, others naturally begin to see it too. The most attractive chapter of your life doesn't begin when you look younger. It begins the moment you realize that your value has been growing all along. The habits that leave the strongest impression are rarely the ones people talk about. They are quiet, consistent behaviors that reveal a man's character without him ever needing to announce it. After the age of 60, these silent habits become even more powerful because they reflect a lifetime of choices rather than temporary efforts. Women often notice these qualities instinctively. They don't see them as tricks or techniques. They see them as signs of a man who has learned to live with confidence, purpose, and emotional balance. The first silent habit is staying calm when life becomes difficult. Every person faces unexpected challenges, but the way a man responds reveals more about him than the challenge itself. A man who remains composed during stressful moments sends a powerful message without saying a word. He shows that he doesn't allow fear or frustration to control him. That sense of stability naturally makes others feel secure in his presence. The second habit is listening with genuine attention. In today's world, many people are eager to speak, but few truly listen. A man who gives someone his full attention communicates respect and kindness. He doesn't interrupt to tell a better story or shift the conversation back to himself. Instead, he makes others feel heard and understood. This simple habit creates emotional connection that is far more meaningful than impressive words. The third habit is respecting himself enough to set healthy boundaries. Confidence grows when a man knows his worth. He doesn't say yes to everything simply to avoid disappointing others. He understands that protecting his time, energy, and peace is not selfish. It is necessary. Women often admire a man who values himself because it shows emotional maturity rather than insecurity. The fourth habit is maintaining a sense of purpose. Retirement may change a career, but it should never end a meaningful life. Whether it's mentoring younger people, volunteering, learning new skills, caring for family, traveling, or pursuing hobbies, a man with purpose radiates energy. His life is driven by curiosity and contribution rather than boredom or regret. Purpose gives him a reason to wake up each morning with enthusiasm. The fifth habit is showing quiet kindness without expecting recognition. Genuine kindness is never loud. It appears in small acts, a warm smile, a thoughtful gesture, patience with strangers, or helping someone without seeking praise. These moments reveal compassion and strength working together. Kindness offered freely is remembered long after expensive gifts or grand gestures are forgotten. The sixth habit is taking care of both body and mind. Attraction after 60 is not about looking 25 again. It is about demonstrating self-respect. Eating well, staying physically active, dressing neatly, maintaining good posture, and continuing to challenge the mind all communicate that a man values his own life. That quiet discipline becomes visible in the way he carries himself every day. The seventh habit is protecting his inner peace. A man who refuses to live in constant anger, bitterness, or negativity becomes a source of calm for those around him. He has learned to forgive what he cannot change, appreciate what he has, and avoid unnecessary conflict. His peaceful attitude doesn't mean weakness. It means he has discovered that life's greatest victories often come from choosing wisdom over drama. When these 7 silent habits become part of everyday life, something remarkable happens. Attraction is no longer something a man tries to create. It becomes a natural reflection of who he is. Women notice the quiet confidence, emotional stability, purpose, kindness, and self-respect because these qualities cannot be faked. They are earned through years of growth and experience. The greatest transformation begins when a man realizes that his strongest qualities don't need to be announced. They simply need to be lived every single day. Many men spend years wondering why they no longer receive the attention they once did, believing that age is the reason. They blame the gray hair, the wrinkles, or the passing of time. But more often than not, it isn't age that quietly steals a man's attractiveness. It is the habits that slowly replace his confidence. These habits are rarely noticed at first. They grow little by little, becoming part of everyday life until they shape the way a man thinks, speaks, and carries himself. The encouraging news is that these habits are not permanent. They can be recognized, challenged, and replaced with stronger ones. One of the biggest mistakes many men make is living too much in the past. They constantly compare today with the good old days, believing that everything meaningful has already happened. Every conversation becomes a reminder of what they used to have, what they used to do, or who they used to be. While memories are valuable, living entirely in yesterday prevents a man from enjoying today. Women are naturally drawn to someone who looks forward with hope rather than backward with regret. A man who believes his best moments are still ahead carries an energy that inspires everyone around him. Another habit that quietly weakens attraction is constant complaining. Every person experiences pain, disappointment, and frustration. Life after 60 may include health concerns, financial changes, or the loss of loved ones. These challenges are real and they deserve compassion. But when complaining becomes a daily lifestyle, it slowly overshadows every positive quality a man possesses. People enjoy being around those who acknowledge life's hardships while still choosing gratitude and optimism. Strength is not pretending everything is perfect. It is refusing to let difficulties define your entire personality. Many men also lose their attractiveness by seeking approval from everyone around them. They worry too much about being liked, accepted, or praised. They change their opinions to avoid conflict and sacrifice their own happiness just to please others. Ironically, the harder someone chases approval, the less confident they appear. True confidence grows when a man respects his own values and makes decisions based on what he believes is right, not on what gains applause. Quiet self-respect is far more appealing than constant people pleasing. Emotional dependence can also become an invisible burden. Some men begin believing they need another person to complete them or give their lives meaning. This creates unnecessary pressure in relationships. Healthy relationships are built when two complete individuals choose to share their lives, not when one person expects the other to fill every emotional gap. A man who has meaningful friendships, hobbies, goals, and interests brings balance into every relationship because his happiness is not dependent on another person's approval. Another overlooked habit is neglecting personal growth. Some people assume that learning ends after retirement or that there is nothing new left to discover. But the most inspiring men continue growing throughout their lives. They read books, develop new skills, stay curious about the world, and remain open to different perspectives. Curiosity keeps the mind young, and a man who continues learning sends a powerful message that his life is still moving forward with purpose. Holding onto anger is another silent habit that slowly damages both inner peace and personal presence. Bitterness often begins with real pain, betrayal, disappointment, or unfair treatment, yet carrying that anger for years only gives the past more control over the present. Forgiveness does not erase what happened, nor does it excuse harmful actions. Instead, it frees a man from allowing old wounds to dictate his future. A peaceful heart creates a calm presence that others naturally appreciate. Perhaps the greatest mistake of all is believing that it is simply too late to change. That belief quietly steals hope, motivation, and opportunity. Every sunrise offers another chance to become healthier, kinder, wiser, and more confident than the day before. Age does not prevent growth, hopelessness does. The men who remain deeply attractive after 60 are not those with perfect lives or perfect appearances. They are the ones who continue choosing purpose over regret, gratitude over complaint, courage over fear, and self-respect over self-doubt. When those choices become daily habits, they create a quiet strength that no number on a calendar can ever diminish. There comes a moment in every man's life when he must decide whether he will let age define him or let character define him. The calendar will continue to move forward no matter what, but the way you choose to live each day is entirely within your control. The most attractive men over 60 are not the ones desperately trying to look younger. They are the ones who have learned to embrace every year with dignity, confidence, and purpose. They understand that true attractiveness is not about reversing time. It is about becoming the finest version of yourself with the time you have. Imagine walking into a room without feeling the need to impress anyone. You don't measure your worth by the opinions of strangers, the compliments you receive, or the attention you attract. Instead, you carry yourself with quiet confidence because you know who you are. There is incredible freedom in reaching a stage of life where authenticity matters more than appearance. That freedom changes the way you speak, the way you smile, and even the way you make others feel. People are naturally drawn to someone who is comfortable in his own skin because genuine confidence cannot be manufactured. It is earned through years of growth, resilience, and self-discovery. Your life story is not a collection of mistakes. It is a collection of lessons. Every challenge you survived strengthened your patience. Every disappointment taught you wisdom. Every responsibility shaped your character. The hardships you once wished to avoid have become the very experiences that make you a stronger, calmer, and more compassionate man today. Never underestimate the value of those experiences. They are the foundation of the quiet strength that so many people admire, even if they never say it aloud. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is the commitment to never stop growing. Continue learning new skills. Read books that challenge your thinking. Stay curious about the changing world around you. Care for your body by staying active, eating well, and getting the rest you need. Care for your mind by filling it with hope instead of fear and gratitude instead of bitterness. Growth does not belong only to the young. In fact, some of the most meaningful personal transformations happen later in life, when experience meets wisdom and confidence replaces insecurity. Equally important is the way you treat the people around you. Respect is remembered long after appearances fade. A kind word, a patient conversation, a helping hand, or a genuine smile can leave a lasting impression that no expensive gift ever could. Women are often attracted to men who make them feel safe, respected, and appreciated. Those qualities don't come from wealth or status. They come from emotional maturity and a generous heart. The strongest men understand that kindness is never a sign of weakness. It is one of the clearest signs of true confidence. Protect your peace as if it were one of your greatest treasures. Do not waste your energy on unnecessary arguments, endless negativity, or people who constantly drain your spirit. Choose relationships that bring mutual respect and encouragement. Learn to forgive, not because others always deserve it, but because you deserve the freedom that forgiveness brings. A peaceful man carries an energy that calms those around him, and that quiet presence is often more attractive than any outward display of confidence. Most importantly, never believe the lie that your best years are behind you. Some of life's richest friendships, deepest love, greatest achievements, and most meaningful moments begin after the age of 60. Every morning you wake up is another opportunity to become wiser, healthier, kinder, and stronger than you were yesterday. Your age is not the end of your story. It is proof that you have lived, learned, and endured. Walk forward with your head held high. your heart full of gratitude, and your spirit filled with purpose. The man who respects himself, values his peace, continues to grow, and lives with quiet confidence will always stand out. In the end, the most attractive quality any man can possess is not youth, wealth, or appearance. It is the unwavering belief that life still has beautiful chapters waiting to be written, and the courage to live each one with dignity, strength, and hope.